XRP holds above $2.90 as ETF decisions loom. 7 XRP spot ETF applications remain pending before the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Grayscale's submission is scheduled for October 18th, with others queued through November 14th, creating a concentrated window of regulatory catalysts that could reshape near-term flows. XRP gained 2.1% during the 24-hour trading session from September 28th at 2100 hours to September 29th at 2000 hours, climbing from $2.84 to $2.90, while moving within a 10-cent range that represented 3.47% of the opening price. A large institutional addresses holding between 10 to 100 million XRP tokens accumulated over 120 million coins across the last 72 hours. 7 XRP spot ETF applications remain pending before the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Grayscale's submission is scheduled for October 18th, with others queued through November 14th, creating a concentrated window of regulatory catalysts that could reshape near-term flows. A market sentiment has been buoyed by anticipation of increased corporate portfolio exposure. Analysts frame ETF approvals as a structural driver that could accelerate XRP's adoption within institutional allocation strategies. The XRP traded within a 10-cent corridor, fluctuating between a low of $2.84 and a high of $2.93, reflecting 3.5% volatility during the period. Price capped out near $2.93 where selling pressure intensified, particularly during the September 29th 1400-hour session. The most significant upward moves came at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time on September 29th, where volume spiked to over 97 million units. These surges significantly outpaced the daily average of 57.4 million, confirming institutional participation during rally phases. The final hour of trading extended the advance, as price moved from $2.88 to $2.90 for a 0.7% late gain. The breach of the $2.90 psychological barrier was confirmed by a 4.8 million unit volume burst, taking the session to its highs before settling around $2.9045. The resistance is clustered between $2.92 and $2.93, where price repeatedly stalled on higher volume. This zone marks the next hurdle for continuation, with breakout confirmation likely requiring a close above $2.93 on expanding participation. A support has consolidated between $2.85 and $2.86, where buyers consistently defended bids during retracements. Multiple successful retests of this band throughout the session highlight its importance as an accumulation zone. The $2.90 psychological level has shifted into a near-term pivot. Price reclaimed it in the late session, and traders will monitor whether this can hold as support heading into the weekend. A volatility over the 24-hour window reached 3.47%, consistent with elevated institutional repositioning around key regulatory catalysts. Whether XRP can sustain closes above $2.90 and flip this into support, which would validate continuation attempts toward $3 and beyond. The SEC's October-November ETF review window, with Grayscale's October 18th date seen as the first major structural catalyst for institutional inflows. A whale wallet activity, with 120 million tokens accumulated over 3 days suggesting further upside if this pace continues. Broader macro conditions with Treasury yield volatility and Fed policy signals influencing risk appetite across both equities and digital assets.